run for Anna Wright, and Brewed Awakenings looking into expansion. INLC begins right now. Hi everyone, I'm Billy Orndorff. Anna Wright died in a single vehicle accident last summer, leaving behind grieving friends and teammates at Lynchburg College. They are keeping her memory alive by raising money to drill wells in northern Uganda. On March 1st, nearly 180 students participated in a 5K run/walk in her memory. Will Stafford and me have more from Schellenberger Field.
Runners, take your marks. Now set!
Can you just tell us a little bit about the event and what it's about?
Water for Life is basically an event to bring together members of the college community that want to do two things. The most important thing they want to do is honor the memory of Anna Wright, who was a goalie for the Lynchburg College soccer team, would have graduated this spring and died tragically in a car accident this summer. She was all about life and energy and spirit, and so people have been collecting money. Since her death and in her memory, there's been over $14,000 raised to dig a well in Uganda, in Gulu, where we have a partnership with Sports Outreach International. And this is raising awareness. It's going to raise funds that we can do even more in that community in Anna's memory. And so members of the soccer team and Coach Todd Olson will be going over to Uganda this summer 2011. They will be a part of both digging and dedicating the well in Anna's memory, and hopefully entire villages will benefit even as we all benefited from Anna being a part of our lives here.
Understanding poverty, its impact on children in schooling, is the subject of the 2011 Rosal Schul Lecture in Education and Human Diversity at 7:30 p.m. March 17th in Memorial Ballroom, Hall Campus Center. Dr. Bethany Tucker, who has worked with students of all ages since becoming an educator in 1972, is a guest speaker. After teaching reading at the elementary school level, she became a Title I instructor teaching reading through art to struggling readers in 2nd through 7th grade. She has also taught and coordinated classes for gifted students and at Averett University in Danville, Virginia. Jules Olstick, An Inside View, a survey of prints, will open at the Dora Gallery on March 16th with a reception at 4 p.m. The exhibit will remain up until April 15th. In 1969, Olszewski was the first living American artist to be given a solo exhibition at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This exhibition tracks Olszewski's artistic dialogue across 6 decades. From his earliest prints in the 1960s, expanses of nuanced color reflecting the tonal discoveries of his color-filled paintings, to his monotypes, a medium he passionately embraced from the 1990s until his death in 2007. This exhibition, organized by writer, collector, and curator Judith Stein, is all known to the Dora Gallery from the Brattleboro Museum of Art Center in Brattleboro, Vermont. INLC and the Crittograph have entered into a partnership. What this means for you as a student is better coverage of the campus and the community as a whole. Some of the effects of the partnership are already visible. Others are still in the works. Beginning this week, the Crittograph and INLC will work together for a future story. Get the basic details here and read more about the story in this week's Crittograph. This week, Crittograph reporter Megan Delp investigated the possible expansion of Brewed Awakenings.
John Knaus, owner of Brewed Awakenings, rumors that the school could possibly expanding the coffee shop, but there is still not a definite confirmation from the school of this decision. Knaus has 3 different units, including Brewed here at LC, Daisy at Sweetbriar, and a unit at CVCC. Knaus has seen people come in and take measurements to look at different areas of Brewed to possibly see how they could expand it. But the school will not release the information whether the expansion will happen until they have come to a final decision. Knaus said that he does not want to greatly increase the size of Brewed, but instead just move things to different areas and add to it. He said that Brewed enjoys being small, knowing the students, and feeding them fresh food is what they really love to do, and they would not just jeopardize that to try to conquer the entire school. The expansions and changes that Canals hopes to see is that they move the drink cooler out from behind the counter so that they are able to make more sandwiches at a time. If they had this, at least 2 people would be able to work on it. Right now, there are usually about 4 people that work there in a shift, and that's a lot of people for the limited amount of space that they have. The employees have figured out a way that each one takes a job and works together in order to get the register, coffee, sandwiches, and frozen drinks done. Canals said that he does not know how much it would cost to add these features to Brewed, but he doesn't think that it would be that much. Canals does not want a whole new preparation area because if they were to put that in, Brewed just would not fit here. He also believes that this would not only be a huge benefit to Brewed, but also to LC. The more students they serve with the expansion, the more profit they make, and better LC does too. Canals has been surprised by the success that Brewed has been here at LC. He never thought that when he opened a little coffee shop and a bagel place here on campus, it would be as successful and popular as it is now. To read more on this story, read this week's Critograph.
Now for an update in international news. Here's Becca Loftus.
Friday, March 11th, Japan was struck with its deadliest earthquake yet, measuring at an 8.9 magnitude. While the quake itself was deadly, the resulting tsunami created much more damage. The tsunami began wiping out entire villages and towns, taking out multi-level buildings, houses, cars, anything in its path. The death toll has climbed to roughly 1,600, with nearly 88,000 people still reportedly missing, according to the official Kyodo news agency. The expected death toll is reportedly 10,000. Japanese Prime Minister Nato Kan called the crisis the most severe challenge the nation has faced since World War II. Rescue teams are struggling to search hundreds of miles of devastated coastline. There are hundreds of thousands of survivors huddled in darkened emergency centers cut off from rescuers and aid. At least 1.4 million households have gone without water since the quake, and food and gasoline are quickly running out across the region. Large areas of the countryside are surrounded by water and are unreachable. Some 2 million households are without electricity. The government doubled the number of soldiers deployed in the aid effort to 100,000 and sent 120,000 blankets, 120,000 bottles of water, and 29,000 gallons of gasoline plus food to the affected areas, but it still seems not enough. If the earthquake and tsunami weren't enough, there is now a state of emergency for a nuclear plant in Onagawa, Japan. The nuclear power plant was damaged from the tsunami, resulting in a small explosion in one of the units. Radiation levels are extremely high, and the area has been evacuated. Several of the nuclear reactors are overheated, and attempts to cool the reactors have begun. With the loss of water and power, cooling the systems have been difficult. Currently, the reactors are being cooled by drawing seawater mixed with boron in an attempt to cool the unit's overheated uranium fuel rods. Boron disrupts nuclear chain reactions, but the only way this system will continue to work is if power begins running again. If there's a collapse of a power plant's ability to keep temperature under control, it could release uranium and dangerous contaminants into the environment and pose major, widespread health risks. Hundreds of people may have already been exposed to the radiation following the explosion. After this disaster, Japan is in for a daunting couple of years.
In quick briefs this week, Gleaning for the World is on standby, waiting to send supplies to tsunami victims in Japan. Gleaning officials say they are working with an organization that was in Japan when the earthquake and tsunami hit. The group says Campus Crusade for Christ says right now victims in Japan need food and water more than anything else. Ventura police say they have arrested the suspect in a robbery and attempted robbery at Robertson Drug Store. After what police are calling an intensive investigation, they arrested 27-year-old Michael Edward Towler Thursday morning. Police arrested him at his house without incident. Towler is being charged with robbery, brandishing a weapon, and 1 count of attempted robbery. A woman turned few heads when she entered an Amherst County courthouse with a tiny monkey clad in a pink and white dress tucked in her bra. The woman brought the palm-sized marmoset to court on Thursday for a hearing in Juvenile and Domestic Relationships Court. The monkey apparently wasn't detected until the woman went to an office to complete some paperwork. In an interview, the woman said the marmoset was 7 weeks old on Friday and it requires constant attention. The woman said she purchased the animal on an online auction site that has its clothes specially made in West Virginia. Now for an update of LC Sports, here's Assistant Sport Director Becca Loftus and for Sports Director Justin Pry-Putin.
Hi, everyone, I'm Becca Loftus. In men's lacrosse, Jimmy Daly scored 5 times and added 2 assists Saturday as Stevenson University, the second-ranked team in NCAA Division III, defeated number 9 Lynchburg College 16-8 in non-conference play. Sweet posted 2 goals and 2 assists, while Sauer had 2 scores and an assist. Hoff and Belinkus each also scored twice, and Wolfong finished with 3 assists. Frank Cook made 17 stops in net for Lynchburg. Stevenson outshot LC 59-18 and converted 4 of 10 extra man opportunities. The Hornets, 4-2, host Stevens Tech Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Katie Bruce, Caitlin Dolby, and Tiffany Morrell combined to allow just 1 run Saturday afternoon as the Lynchburg College softball team rolled to a pair of victories at the Salisbury University tournament. In 4 victories Friday and Saturday, the Hornets gave up only 1 run. Dolby threw 5 scoreless innings, giving up just 1 hit and 1 walk with 4 strikeouts in a 5-1 victory over Gettysburg College. Melanie Tenney was 2 for 4 and scored twice, and Stephanie Federico went 2 for 4 with a home run. Gallagher also homered. Lynchburg, 12-2, has won 6 straight games and returns home to face Randolph Wednesday at 3 p.m. and Greensboro Thursday at 3. Lynchburg College senior sprinter Jessica Gibbs finished 10th in the Division III NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships on Friday, hosted by Kaplan University in Columbus, Ohio. Gibbs began the day by posting a time of 9.12 seconds in the 55-meter hurdles, placing 12th. In news and notes this week, new Lynchburg Hillcats manager Luis Salazar was airlifted to a hospital Wednesday after being hit in the face by a foul ball during an exhibition game. The 54-year-old manager, former major leaguer, may have sustained a concussion and could have damage around his left eye, according to Braves general manager Frank Wren. He was able to respond to doctors Wednesday afternoon. After 4 years in retirement, former New York Giants running back Tiki Barber is looking to get back into the NFL. It won't be with the Giants, though. The Giants acknowledged on Tuesday that the 35-year-old Barber has asked to be taken off the reserve retirement list and that they will release him once a league allows it. Teams cannot make roster moves during the current extension of the CBA talks. That's the Week in Sports. I'm Becca Loftus. Back to you, Billy.
Thanks, Becca. Now for an update in the forecast, here's Chief Forecaster Will Stafford.
Now from the LC Storm Center, here is Chief Forecaster Will Stafford.
Billy, everyone has heard the tragedy in Japan, but we're going to begin with some absolutely phenomenal video out of San Francisco in the bay, where you can actually see the tsunami wave arrive in the bay. You see the leading edge of it, or really the wall of water. It's about 6 feet tall, just an eerie-looking water behind the wave. Our next video is an excerpt of a video also in California. This is to show you how strong the current is in a tsunami. This is standing still, and it looks like you're cruising on down the bay. Now, you should know under no circumstances get this close to a tsunami, but just phenomenal video coming out of San Francisco. A tsunami, or as it's incorrectly called, a tidal wave, it actually has nothing to do with tides. It's caused by an underwater disturbance of any kind, generally an earthquake of about 7.0 or higher. The disturbance underwater generates a tremendous amount of energy, and the energy reaches the surface and sends out waves in every direction that are capable of traveling up to 500 miles an hour. And it could go either until they hit land or run out of water or run out of energy. Most of the time, it's the first one anyway. Back closer to home, a warm day on Sunday. Don't get used to it because on Monday and Tuesday, cloudy skies return and cooler temperatures. Surface map at the time of taping, a boundary is just off to our west. It's going to crawl eastward and stall out over top of us. Low pressure going to form along the front and pass through us, thus triggering off showers and clouds, cooler temperatures as well. Monday and Tuesday, don't look for it to crack 50. However, by late week, the front heads southward. This high over North Dakota slides down and gives us water wall sunshine by late week. Also increases our temperatures once the front dissipates. The 7-day, clouds and rain Monday and Tuesday, then warm, maybe mid-70s by Friday. A slight chance of showers for the first half of the weekend. Next weekend, otherwise, a good-looking week ahead. Billy.
Thanks, Will. That's our show for today. Stay tuned for Level Up. Remember, news 24/7 online at facebook.com. Search IONLC. I'm Bill Orndorff. Have a great week, LC.